What if the secrets of one of history's greatest lost civilizations were hidden in a language no one can read? For centuries, the cryptic symbols of the Indus Valley Civilization have silenced the voices of Mohenjo-Daro. But today, researchers believe we may be closer than ever to unlocking this ancient script, a code that could rewrite everything we think we know about one of the world's earliest urban societies. The Indus Valley Civilization was once a thriving powerhouse of human innovation. At its peak around 2500 BCE, it rivaled Egypt and Mesopotamia in scale, organization, and cultural influence. Cities like Mohenjo-Daro were masterpieces of urban planning, complete with grid layouts, standardized bricks, and drainage systems so advanced that many modern cities still fall short. Yet despite all this sophistication, the civilization left behind almost no deciphered writing. Their story remains trapped behind a barrier of symbols no one alive today can fully understand. These symbols, lines, loops, geometric shapes, human-like figures, animals, and signs unlike anything in neighboring cultures, make up what we now call the Indus Script. They appear on seals, pottery, copper plates, tablets, and tiny objects that once traveled along ancient trade routes. They are visually striking, almost artistic in form, and clearly created with intention. But they share one frustrating characteristic. The inscriptions are incredibly short. Most contain only 5 to 8 signs. There is no long text, no carved monument, no translated version, no Rosetta Stone. For a civilization so vast, their written record remains as silent as the ruins themselves. Scholars have spent more than a century trying to understand the nature of this script. Is it logographic, like ancient Chinese, where each symbol represents a word or concept? Is it syllabic, like early cuneiform, where symbols represent sounds? Or is it something fundamentally different, a system of icons used for identification and mythology rather than a full language? Arguments exist for each theory, and all of them make sense. And yet, none of them have cracked the code. The problem is deeper than just symbol complexity. Every successful decipherment in history relied on one essential tool, a bilingual text. Egyptian hieroglyphs had the Rosetta Stone. Cuneiform had the Behistun inscription. But the Indus Valley Civilization left behind no bilingual objects, no long texts, and no clear linguistic descendants. The inscriptions are too short to test grammar. Their language family is unknown. And because the civilization collapsed and scattered thousands of years ago, there are no surviving oral traditions that can be confidently linked to it. Still, modern researchers aren't giving up. Today, the race to decipher the Indus script has entered a new era, one driven by artificial intelligence and computational linguistics. Scientists are feeding thousands of photographed inscriptions into machine learning models to analyze symbol frequency, pattern repetition, and structural arrangements. Early results show that the symbols behave statistically like real language, not random art. The order of signs appears intentional. Certain combinations repeat, and some symbols nearly always appear at the beginning or end of inscriptions, suggesting grammar-like rules. Prominent researchers across the world are taking different approaches. Finnish scholars emphasize the mathematical structure of the script. Indian researchers look for connections to Proto-Dravidian languages spoken in southern India today. Some argue the script represents an early form of Tamil or another Dravidian ancestor, a hypothesis supported by certain linguistic parallels, cultural connections, and archaeological clues. While this theory is not universally accepted, it is currently the most widely supported possibility. Yet, even this promising lead has not produced a breakthrough that the academic world can fully agree on. Why does deciphering this script matter so much? Because unlocking the language of Mohenjo-Daro could completely transform our understanding of their civilization. It could reveal how they organized their society, how they governed, traded, worshipped, and educated. It could tell us whether they had kings or councils, whether they used taxes or trade agreements, and how they managed a society of millions without leaving behind palaces or war monuments. Perhaps the script hides records of long-distance trade linking them to Mesopotamia, Central Asia, or ancient Iran. Maybe it preserves clues about irrigation technology, public health, or early scientific knowledge. Beyond practical information, deciphering the script could open a window into their spiritual world. We might discover myths, rituals, or symbolic systems that influenced later cultures across Asia. We could find their equivalent of religious hymns, folk tales, or philosophical ideas. Understanding their language would allow us to connect the dots between the Indus Valley and later civilizations, revealing migration patterns, cultural exchanges, and the spread of ideas that shaped the ancient world. The truth is, we may be standing on the edge of a historic breakthrough. With each technological advancement, with each new discovery in archaeology or linguistics, the veil over the Indus script becomes a little thinner. And someday, whether next year or a decade from now, we might finally hear the voices of Mohenjo-Daro for the first time in 4,000 years. For now, the mystery continues. But that's what makes it so exciting. Because every symbol could be a clue, every seal a fragment of a forgotten story. And if you're fascinated by ancient mysteries, lost knowledge, and the possibility that we may soon unlock humanity's oldest secrets, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives like this. Share your theories in the comments. Do you think the script is a language, a symbolic system, or something entirely different? The story of Mohenjo-Daro isn't over yet. And together, we're closer than ever to finally hearing what this ancient civilization has been trying to tell us.